There's a tremendous number of tools, I think. I find most authors really don't know their primary tool, which is their word processor. It's really amazing. I've actually had authors ask what the red wavy lines are. I've had meaning not just spell correction, but if you do, I turn on revision control a lot of times when I send documents out. And when you make a change, it underlines the word. And I've had people say, "How do I get the stuff to quit underlining everything I write?" In business writing, that's pretty common. You normally turn on revision control, but it's kind of amazing. And it's not that they don't know any better, or that it's not that they're intellectually challenged. It's just people don't put time into learning their own tools and their own craft, which kind of surprises me. So I sort of resisted this journey for a long time because I never considered it a primary author platform. I write science fiction. I have a romantic comedy as a result of a screenwriting course I was taking, which is a little off the beaten track. I have a fantasy story. It's not. I don't write nonfiction books on writing. There's a ton of Word books out there. There's a ton of software books out there. So I never considered it my platform, and yet I'm finding most of my speeches are incredibly well received at these events because people just don't know a lot of these tools. There's basics, which I'm thinking of calling it the Gwinner method, but there's some basics that I teach people for how to set up their word processor so they literally can hit one key and start typing. And I meet people that do things like hit spacebar 5 times on every paragraph, or they change the font every paragraph by hand, and it just makes me shudder, not because it's dumb, but just the amount of work that they're doing that prevents them from getting their work out. And so whether it helps my fiction or not, I think it's a great thing for me to do to just make other people's lives easier and get more good books out there so we can all read them. One of them is typically a lot of people, and I find this in general, not just fiction writers, but business writers even, don't understand the concept of styles, which is kind of a basic thing. And it's one of the things in Word, it's right at the top of the page. There's a bunch of boxes that say like header 1, header. And a lot of people just look at that and they don't understand what it is, or they click it and weird things happen to their text. So don't touch that, weird stuff happens. Which is kind of true, but if you set it up right, then the weird things that happen are actually good things, and it just saves you a lot of time. So styles are one thing. A lot of people don't understand white space, meaning that they don't see the difference between a tab and 5 spaces until they change fonts. And then they say, why is it stuff jumps around on the page? In my career, I've seen a lot of bizarre things. I actually introduced PCs to the Marine Corps, which was kind of interesting. I did, first couple of years I was a forward observer, but then I transferred and I was doing IT in the Marine Corps. And one time I saw a page that literally had 5 or 10 inches of nothing but spaces. And that was how the person got from the line where you put like the date down to where you say, dear so-and-so. The format's different from military writing, but you get the idea. Instead of hitting tab once to set a tab stop for the date and then hitting enter a few times, they actually just held the space bar down until the cursor got to where they wanted it to be. And of course, the problem with that is when you go to print it, or if you change the font, stuff jumps around. And people fiddle hours, just trying to get the page to stay in one place. And it's just so much easier, and it's quicker if you use the right tools. So,
thank you for listening. Please review our other available content for help writing, publishing, and marketing your book. If you have any questions about the Author Learning Center, please contact us by email at authorsupport@authorlearningcenter.com.